Hello, this is Emil from Mindful Movement Coaching. In today's video, I want to show you how to do a staggered stance diagonal row. It's a great exercise. I was influenced by a PT named Joe Grant. He showed some exercises to help with Nordic skiers, so I wanted to give credit, and we're going to embellish on it a little bit today. So let's review the basic setup, and I'll show you some of the different modalities that you can use so you get the most out of this exercise. So the first thing is setting up your staggered stance. So if I'm standing in a neutral stance, what I'm going to do is take a little step forward, not a full step, but just a little step forward, and then I'm going to get my body weight 50-50 on each leg, each foot, and I'm going to bend the knees, but I'm going to raise the back heel. Now I want to make sure that I'm bearing weight on the ball of the foot, on, in this case, my right leg, but I've still got flat foot, full weight or full foot distribution of weight on my lead leg. Now, the actual movement here, if I face the camera now, is I'm going to take the arm that's on the side of, we'll call this the back leg, and that's going to reach across the body, just like so. I want you to think about your back shoulder here, and don't keep your back shoulder here as you reach. Get that back shoulder so that you have a nice alignment throughout your shoulder complex here. This encourages nice thoracic rotation. If you have challenges with that, little footnote, do the T-spine rib grabs. Okay, now from here, we're going to just practice the movement with a bit of determination or explosiveness, if you will, of pulling up and then pulling a band or a weight in the opposing arm. Now, what I want to add or have you think about is using a resistance band. Resistance bands will provide constant resistance versus if you use a hand weight, the hand weight will create variable resistance. Now, what I mean by that is as the hand weight is arcing and moving through space, the gravitational demands that are placed on that hand weight are going to change as your arm's moving, as your body's moving. But if you're holding a band, you're going to experience resistance and ascending resistance throughout the entire movement until you finish. This is very helpful for adding an explosive element to that exercise and then coming back down and rebounding off of the elasticity of the exercise band. I'll be showing you how to do that next. Okay, so at this point, I want to show you how to set up to do your staggered stance diagonal row using your exercise band. So the first thing we need to do is create a low anchor point. That's where you're going to attach your exercise band. And then on top of it, you want to set yourself up so that when you're performing the exercise, you're working against a diagonal force vector or a diagonal load. So what I mean by that is I don't want to set up to do the exercise so that the anchor point is directly in front of me or aligned in my midline. I actually want that anchor point off to the side of my lead leg. So I'm going to turn away from the vector angle or my anchor point. I'm going to stagger into my staggered stance or lower into my staggered stance. Get that back shoulder pulled back so I've got nice little alignment here to my shoulder complex. I'm going to stand and drive up. Now you see I keep a slight bend in my elbow. When you keep a slight bend in the elbow, you have your opposing muscle groups here in your arm, bicep, tricep, working together to create a stable joint angle. We'll reference that an obtuse joint angle used a lot in martial arts. So keep in mind, elbow slightly flexed, and this exercise or the use of an elastic band with this exercise now allows you to put some explosiveness into this and feeling that resistance throughout the entire movement. Whereas if you had a weight, there's a little bit of variability that's occurring, which is a good thing, but we want to have a little bit more to work off of in this case. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email at emil@mindmovecoach.com. All right, good luck.